What's up, y'all? And welcome back to Dad Needs to Talk. I am your host, Robert, aka Father of Vash, and today I'm going to be talking about my thoughts on the new Marvel's Eternals movie, and Vash just turned 4 years old. Let's get to it. Alright, what is up, y'all? We are back for another fantastic episode of Dad Needs to Talk. As always, if this is your first time here, then welcome. But if you're a returning listener viewer, then welcome back. Y'all already know what it is. If you are not already, make sure you are subscribed to the podcast on whatever podcast platform of your choice. I should be on all of them. And also make sure you're subscribed to the Dad Needs to Talk YouTube channel so that you can see me in all my glory. But yeah, make sure y'all go do that for your boy, and also if you've been enjoying the show or this is your first time here and you enjoyed this episode, please go over to iTunes and leave your boy a review so that the world can know that we out here doing great things so we continue to grow and have more people join the conversation. So let's just jump into it. So kind of starting things off this week. I think where to even start, man. It has been such a roller coaster of a week in so many ways. My oldest son, across Saturday and Sunday, he played 6 games, which it's kind of wild to think about because talking to my wife a while ago, between last weekend and this weekend, he has played a total of 12 basketball games. And so keep in mind, he plays for multiple teams. So, but yeah, it just happened at 2 weekends in a row. Both teams had tournaments and stuff. So collectively he's played 12 games in across the last 2 weekends. But he did end up, his team did end up coming through and getting a big W. They won a 6th grade tournament tonight, actually just a few hours ago from when I'm recording this. And so it's very awesome, very proud of him. Like I said, he he putting in work, and you have to be able to go through a gauntlet of 6 basketball games across 2 days, 12 across two weekends. So shout out to my oldest boy. Love you, very proud of you. And so with that being said, like I said, that was like a good chunk of my weekend. Just traveling and dropping kids off, picking kids up, maneuvering around. Cause while I was doing that, my wife, she was this weekend at a local convention center. They had a little pop-up shop where she went there and she set up her little table and booth where she was selling her jewelry along with several other vendors and stuff. So it was a pretty nice little event. Ended up getting to try some mango flavored pineapples. Them jokers was hitting. So it was this family. They were selling various flavored pineapples as well as various flavored pickles. So they had like a strawberry kiwi pickle, all types of wood flavors. But man, that mango pineapple, was so good. And another vendor, we ended up getting. She had a desserts, and I ended up getting a German chocolate cake from her. Now, those of y'all who might not know, because I don't think I've ever talked about it on the show, but growing up, German chocolate cake was my go-to cake that I got for my birthday every year. When I was younger, my grandma would make me, I believe it was like a 2 or 3 layered German chocolate cake. And then, as the years went on, after my grandmother passed away, then my mama picked up the torch and she continued to make me German chocolate cakes, pretty much the rest of the time. And I'm trying to think that, I don't know if my sister might have made me one time, but yeah, but yeah, got it. It was super awesome, super good. They had some really good stuff too. They had like I think they were selling like candy apples and stuff, but just like coated in different stuff. I think they had like a Oreo coated apple or something. It was like, whoa, y'all got all types of stuff. But yeah, but that was a fun little event. Glad my wife got to go there and do her things, sell her jewelry. For those of you who do not know, go check out Raining Crystals with a Z on Instagram. And yes, if you might see anything you might want to buy for yourself, for a loved one, for a friend, your kids, whatever. She does necklaces, bracelets. I think she's about to start doing waist beads too. But yeah, go check her out, Raining Crystals. But yeah, and so on top of the basketball stuff and my wife doing the jewelry stuff, I had another big thing happen this last week that I can't speak on 100% yet until, because I want to make sure all paperwork is cleared. But what I can say is that, this is something that I have been working towards. Well, I don't necessarily want to say like working towards, but it's something that's kind of been like on the horizon of a potential possibility. And so I was potentially presented with an offer for something, but like I said, just kind of waiting for all paperwork and stuff to clear. But looks like we're taking a potential step forward. What I will say, and kind of what I want to touch on a little bit, is I had a moment Friday. Like, see, y'all know, talking on the show, I try to be, transparent and open with y'all, as I talk about stuff. But I did kind of have a moment because in my mind, like I said, just being up front, I have had some struggles and stuff going on. Like I said, I don't necessarily come here and talk about a lot on the podcast because this is kind of like my escape from my real world, real life struggles and stresses and things of that nature. But what I will say, is like, it's been some tough times in recent months, and this is something that, and I feel like it's partly on me for kind of like, sometimes you kind of like put something too high on a pedestal of like, hey, if I can just get this one thing to happen, then that'll change the whole game. It'll change my whole life around or whatever. Well, I potentially got the thing, but it wasn't all the way to the point of what I was hoping for / anticipating. But the potential for that to happen over time is there, but it wasn't that immediate, like, woo, I got this thing, the weight is off my shoulders, we can, live carefree now. That part didn't happen. So I kind of sat there in a rut, honestly, for a long time Friday night. And I kind of had to get myself out of it because I'm like, no, this is still a victory for me. Even though it might not have been 100% the way I was hoping it would go, this is still a very big step forward for me and set up for long-term possibilities. And so what I ended up doing, because there was 2 manga that came out last week, and I'll show y'all them in a second, mention what they are in a second, but there's 2 manga that came out last week that I was like, hey, as soon as I get the phone call, email, whatever about this opportunity, if it clears, hey, I'm going to go get these things as a treat. I was holding off all week, but when I did finally get the call, and it wasn't what I would like. Like I said, I kind of had that moment where like, man, nothing really's changed. Like some things did change, but as far as like short term, nothing's changed too much. And so I was like, you know what? No, I will not get those manga and stuff I said I wanted to get as a treat for doing the thing, whatever, because I felt like I didn't properly earn it. But like I said, after I kind of wallowed in self pity, honestly, for a bit, I decided I was like, you know what? No, I need to go and get these because it's on my mind. I want them, and yes, everything isn't perfect. Probably maybe shouldn't be getting them, but it's like no. No matter how good or bad things or whatever, you do have to at least like treat yourself every now and then within reason, of course. And so what I ended up getting, so one of them I was only able to get one Friday night because freaking didn't realize freaking Barnes and Nobles closes at like 8 o'clock on Fridays, and I'm like 8 o'clock because I think it was like 7:30, and I'm thinking it's at least not gonna close till like 9 o'clock or whatever because it's a Friday. So I'm like, okay, about 7:30, something like that or whatever. Um, I go no, or what was it? Anywho, whatever time it was gonna close, whatever. Basically, I got there afterwards. So I think it might have been. I thought it was gonna close at 9. That's right. I thought it was gonna close at 9. Left the house about 8ish, 8:30, whatever. Got there, and I'm like, where's all the cars? Kind of found out they were closed, but luckily, my local comic book store that I go to all the time, they're open till 11 because they had a whole crowd in there. I think they were doing like a D&D night or something as they often do. But so I went there in hopes of, because they're kind of wonky. Like they have like some off the wall stuff that I haven't seen anywhere else locally. But then some newer big stuff, whatever, they don't have. So it's kind of a mixed bag. But one of the ones that I wanted to get, and of course they only had one copy, which I was happy about, is this one called Kiruru Kill Me. Now, the synopsis for this is Al Nemo has made it. He's brilliant, good looking, and the heir to a gigantic pharmaceutical empire. The only thing missing in his life is love, and he's just fallen head over heels for a beautiful woman named Akami Kiruru. There's just one problem. Kiruru is a professional assassin. Desperate to see her again, Al Nemo puts a risky plan into action. To reunite with Kiruru, he puts out a hit on himself. So yeah, like I said, this is one I've heard some decent stuff about or whatever. But like I said, it just volume 1. This one just came out in English this past week. But I read, I think, like the first chapter or whatever. I'm enjoying it so far, but I'm curious to jump into more. Now this other one is one I wasn't able to go and get until yesterday morning, or sometime yesterday in between. No, yeah, some Saturday in between basketball games. I kind of stopped and went to go get this, but this one is called Young Ladies Don't Play Fighting Games. And so, yeah, beautiful cover. And love the freaking back with the two young ladies with freaking fight sticks with them. But read the little synopsis for this one. Forbidden Love for Video Games. Kuromi Girls Academy is a refined, elegant school that expects the very best in deportment from its young ladies. Aya got into this peerless rich girls institution on a scholarship and hopes to grow as lovely as her fellow student and idol, the so-called Shirayumi or Shirayuri-sama. But Shirayuri has a terrible secret. She's a trash-talking, combo-chaining, newbie-stomping, ruthless hardcore gamer. Could a mutual indulgence in no-hands-barred video game combat grow into a deeper rapport between these two girls? That premise alone is like what really got me, whatever. And plus, like I read, like, because one thing I love about a lot of these manga now is that they will have like a preview of the first chapter. Of course, yes, we all know you can go into the dark corners of the internet, or as my friends over on the Komi house call it, the the weeb wide web and read this stuff, whatever, but trying to do my best to support these official releases so that we can continue to keep getting awesome stuff over here printed in English, and other countries around the world. But anywho, I really like the first part of this, the synopsis or whatever, or like the first part of the chapter they had on the little preview thing. And yeah, it sold me. And so I've got it and I've read like the first chapter, but it was just so awesome. Like I said, and as somebody that has been a lifelong gamer, definitely, definitely can relate. But yeah, that was kind of like my two treats though for what I did this past week. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to continuing to read both of those. So, uh, and there's some other manga coming up in the next week or whatever that I'm very interested to check out and stuff. One of which, you know what, because I want to just put this on people's radar. So hold on one second, let me pull this up. Okay, so one more manga I just want to just give a shout out to, or at least just to put on y'all's radar, that that got put on my radar by somebody that the algorithm just put them on my Twitter. But this manga is called Frieren Beyond Journey's End. And the general synopsis of this one is let me get it pulled up, sorry. Let's see. Frieren Beyond Journey's End. So basically, hold on, let me get this. Okay, so decades after their victory. So basically, this story takes place after this group of adventurers had been on a 10-year quest, and they basically defeated the great evil. Well, the story starts after that, and mainly follows I think she's the mage of the group, and she's an elf, which means that she's gonna live for centuries, while everybody else in her party are just seem to be like regular humans. And so I read a little bit of like the first chapter, but basically this is the story of Frieren, the elf's journey to basically kind of like fulfill and kind of like come to grips with basically outliving the rest of her party. Because I read a little bit of the first chapter, and basically, like I said, like they come back, whatever, from their adventure, and the rest of the crew, whatever, they're all worried, like, man, we gotta get regular jobs, and yada yada yada. And she's just like, yeah, I'm just gonna continue to explore the world and document stuff, learn more magic and stuff, whatever. And so on the day that they come back, there's like this meteor shower that comes through, and it only happens once every 50 years. And so she kind of basically makes like an offhand comment of like, well, we can't really see it too well because we're in the city, but she's like, hey, you know what? In 50 years, let's meet back up here, and I can take you out to a better place to watch the meteor shower. Well, they kind of like the rest of the party kind of just like laugh it off, because it's like, man, to her, 50 years, 100 years is nothing time-wise, but for them, most of them might not even be alive in 50 years. And so that's basically like the general premise of the story, whatever. So without going into too much spoilers, whatever. But that's when I just want to put on y'all's radar that I'm interested in checking out in the coming weeks, because it's coming out this month. Actually, it's coming out in a couple of days from the time of me recording this. But yeah. So, kind of moving right along. So on this episode of the podcast, I'm going to kind of keep it tight because, to be honest, I am beyond exhausted. And, like I said, it's just a lot of just like life stuff going on. And I need to I need to slow down, listen to my body, listen to my mind, and take a break, even if it's just 1 week or whatever. So, right now, next week, let me see. Yeah, next week, basically the week of the 15th of November 15th, there won't be a regular podcast episode out there. Not saying that there won't be. Who knows, if I have time or whatever this week, or if I get in the mood, maybe I'll record a review for something. Who knows? And that'll go up that day, and that'll just be what it is. Otherwise, I will be back in a couple of weeks, the week of the 22nd. Now, that week I have something very big planned that I'm very excited about. And hopefully things work out. But I'm very excited about that week's episode because, yeah, y'all will know. I don't want to speak on it too much. I don't even want to give general idea what it is. But if y'all look at the calendars and see what's going on around that weekend of the 19th, you might have an idea. There's a very big anime thing happening that weekend. So just little tease, little hint, wink, wink. But yeah. So that's what it is. But for today, I'm later in the show I'm gonna talk about Eternals and my thoughts on that. And honestly, I'm not gonna do my usual chapters and general anime and stuff, whatever that I usually talk about week to week or whatever. I'll just have to do just like a big multi-episode catch up on, or multi-chapter catch up on all this stuff later on. It is what it is. Like I said, I almost didn't even record today, but I was like, no, because like I said, I primarily wanted to do this, like I said, for one, because I just watched Eternals. I just wanted just super quick, basic thoughts on that. But this is primarily something I wanted to do for Vash for his 4th birthday, which, like I said, I will get to in a minute, because I'm going to save the Eternals and stuff for later in the episode. So, yeah, only bit of news I want to kind of share this week is that Bungo Stray Dogs got announced for a season 4 is coming. I don't think I saw a date for that, but just know that a new season of that series is coming. So very awesome, very excited to see more of that. I'm trying to think. I want to say I think there was maybe a movie or something that came out that I still need to check out. Other thing that yeah, I'll touch on it in a little bit or whatever. But there was like a series that I did finish this week that I also want to touch on as well. But so let's go and just dive right in. Like I said, this is a little bit more of a looser, freeform episode. Cause like I said, I'm just like beyond exhausted, as you can, like I said, imagine running around 6 basketball games over this weekend, on top of just normal life and family, fatherly duties that I have. But yeah, so little dude, Vash, 4 freaking years old, y'all. That is like so wild to just kind of even say, cause I remember that year he was born, 2017. It was a very wild, very eventful year in so many ways leading up to his birth, because so Christmas 2016, I had proposed to my now wife. That spring, we found out she was pregnant. Then, of course, we're planning wedding stuff, whatever, for that summer, summer 2017. And then I got laid off from my job in June. I got laid off a month before our wedding. But luckily, most of like the big expenses and stuff was already paid for and taken care of. But still, pregnant wife with 4 other kids also, and got laid off a month before the wedding. It was chaos. So went through that, went through the wedding. We revealed Vash's the coming of Vash at the wedding, because honestly, only my mom and my sister. I'm pretty sure I told my sister. I definitely had to tell my sister, but more than likely it was probably just my mom for sure, my sister, and then my wife's grandparents and parents knew. And then we revealed at the wedding that yes, Vash is coming. I have a photo. I wish I had it ready to pull up, but basically it was a photo of me holding My awesome close friends that I've known since college, Bree and her husband Aaron, they got Vash. They found a Vash the Stampede baby onesie with the glasses and everything on it, and I have an image of me holding that up during the announcement and stuff. But yeah, and then we get to the fall, and young Vash makes his arrival. Now, so much stuff, you know. It was just like a very busy year, very crazy year leading up to Vash being born. Um, one thing I kind of just touch on a little bit, and this is something I had never really talked about too much, whatever. And I'm not going to dive into it too much because it's a little bit of a heavier subject. But so for many years, I kind of had this weird. I don't know if I don't know if I want to call it a vision, prophecy, whatever the case may be. But that, like I said, I don't know why, but over the years, there's always been like this thought in the back of my head, like I said, this dreams, nightmares, whatever you want to call it, that I always had that scared me for a long time. That someday I would have a child of my own, but that I would not be here for the child. And so that was a very scary thought because it's like I really would like to have, a son or a kid in general, but specifically if I could choose, to kind of have a son, but also like I said, just like that reoccurring dream and vision I kept having over the years just scared the ever living crap out of me. And honestly, just like all year long, like I said, on top of all the other crazy stuff that was going on, but all year long, having that thought in the back of my head of like, man, this is like one of like the, you know, craziest in a good way moments of my life, but it's also fearful, like I said, because of like, man, like what if those visions, those dreams come to life? That's gonna be, wild. It's like, then my son would have to learn of me through family, my friends, so on and so forth, or whatever. But so anywho, so Vash came, Vash was born. Hey, okay, he's here, I'm here, we're here at the same time. Okay, I passed the point of singularity, or what was that happened with in Loki with Kang the Conqueror, like that moment where the event passed and he can no longer predict the future or whatever because they had made it through whatever that threshold was. That's how I felt until, and I'll get to this in a second, but had some awesome first days in the hospital. um I read One Piece to Vash because he was born on a Wednesday. So that weekend, we were still in the hospital, had him snuggled up with me as I'm reading a new chapter of One Piece. I believe it was a chapter. I think it was like 878. One Piece 878. Let me see. Basically, it was a chapter titled Brule. Let's see. Mink Tribe. Maybe it was 877. Not sweet. Huh. I can't remember. But anywho, had Vash with me rereading manga. I'm definitely a very important time in gaming as well because right before Vash was born, it was that crazy trifecta of games released. It was a Super Mario Odyssey, Assassin's Creed Origins, and Wolfenstein 2 New Colossus. I'll never forget, I had played and beat Wolfenstein 2 in the hospital while we were waiting for leading up to the pregnancy. and then I was alternating between Assassin's Creed Origins and Mario Odyssey in the hotel. Cause those came out like a week or two before Vash was born. But yeah, and so the scariest thing that happened after that, like I said, like, hey, he's here, sunshine and roses. I'm like, okay, cool. I made it past the event. Literally the first or second night after we get Vash home, it's late at night, like it is now when I'm recording, like close to midnight or whatever. And Sweet Tooth, my Sweet Tooth came in, and I was like, man, I gotta taste for something sweet. Let me run down the street to Quick Trip and give me a honey bun or whatever it was. So I'm driving. This same light, and I hate it now because I have freaking trauma now from this freaking light and stuff, whatever, in this event. But I'm driving through the light, and so I'm going straight. There's a car coming towards me, and it's getting ready to, to try to turn across, whatever. Clearly, I had a straightaway because my light was still green. They misjudged the distance, and they tried to jump and make that turn real quick, and I ended up ramming straight into the side of them, totaling my car that I had just paid off like the year before, whatever. My baby, my 2002 Ford Escape. To this day, I still hope and look forward to the day where I can get another Ford Escape because I freaking love that car, love that vehicle. Like I said, it was my first car that I ever bought with my own money. Well, I'll take that back. My first vehicle out of college, because I got it right when I was graduating college, and I had just paid it off, like I said, like the year or so beforehand. And yeah, car got totaled. But of course, in that moment, freaking life flashed before my eyes because I'm like, man, I thought I had lived past the nightmare. But when I was coming, it was just like headlights, and I was going to that car. I was like, this is it. This is it. But I woke up. Okay, slight shoulder pain or whatever. My favorite glasses got destroyed in the process because I had these very cool blue metal frame, like these very cool all blue metal framed glasses. Love them things. And they had transition lenses. But they got destroyed and stuff. Like I said, my poor car totaled. And like I said, this is us, me unemployed still, newborn baby. This was a freaking wild time. But I lived. Obviously, here I am. But made it through that event. And yeah, like I said, that's just been like a that first year, or those, like, that's not even like his first year of being born, but just like that year leading up to him being born, and like that first like week or whatever, crazy. But I would say honestly though, over these years, especially like that first year, was so chill. Vash was such a chill baby when he was smaller, because so many people, you know, or like, it's like, man, when you have kids, all them hobbies, them playing video games, watching TV, out the window. No more fun for you, bro or ma'am. And that wasn't the case for me. And this is something I want to do a more dedicated thing to later in the future. But just kind of speaking in general, that first year of Vash being born, like I said, I was playing through Assassin's Creed Origins. I beat it. I played through God of War, and that was a very special experience because I was already a fan of the God of War games, but just coincidentally, with that series shifting and having Kratos being a father again and going on a journey with his son, and I had Vash in my lap as I'm playing through. Like I said, I played through Assassin's Creed Origins with him with me. I, of course, still played through Mario Odyssey, played through God of War, played through Spider Man 20. Wait, no. That was what, 2018? What year was that? Spider Man 2018. Okay, actually, okay, no, duh, that's right, yeah, because God of War 2018 too, yeah. But so Assassin's Creed Origins, God of War, Spider Man, and God of War 100% it platinum, Spider Man 100% platinum, and then later that fall, Red Dead Redemption 2. Right after Spider Man platinum that, I played through Red Dead Redemption 2. And so the fact that I was able to play through all these humongous games with a newborn, didn't miss a beat with my gaming. And I think now, granted, that might be also because of um, my household, because those of y'all that know, my wife is also a big gamer. And so she knows and she understands, how much I enjoy playing games or watching anime, reading manga or whatever. So she'll, make time with it. It's like, you know what, hey, I'll watch Vash or whatever, or, I'll keep my eye on him or whatever for a bit while you play your game or whatever, and vice versa. I do the same thing for her. And so, but yeah, like that first year, he was like so chill. He slept through the night most of the time. I would say he slept through the night more so than he didn't. Um, we got him pretty early on, sleeping by himself in his own, like, in his crib and stuff. And yeah, it was a very fun adventure. Like I said, that first year, and then just kind of like going from after that. Just seeing the the big boy he's growing into, and just how his own little personality, is just forming. Because it's like clearly I see some of myself in him, I see some of my wife in him, but then I also see some of just him, and just him doing his thing, being himself. And it is truly it is truly an experience, to say the least. Just getting a chance to just watch this person, you know, just learning from their surroundings, and forming, learning to crawl, to walk, to speak, all this stuff, doing stuff on his own, being like, no, I got it, we're kind of on the tail end of him potty training now, and you know, he is such a character, because and while he can be wild, he can be very so sweet. Just because, like, whenever I call him, he'll be like, "Yes, Daddy," and then you know, teaching him stuff and actually seeing it stick to where, like, he'll go use the potty, and then he'll be like, "Daddy, wash hands," and him even putting together, because I told him, we kind of talk through stuff, whatever, being like, soap, water, and he'd be like, "Daddy, wash hands, soap, water." And so just stuff like that. He definitely takes after me with his interest in electronics and gaming and stuff. Cause he like I said, he's 4 now. Vash has literally already been playing games for 2 years. It's just wild to say, but literally since he was 2, pretty much from the time where he could grasp a controller good, he's been playing. And I don't mean no, oh, he's just, running into walls. Like, no, like he is able to clear full Mario levels by himself. He's able to clear full Rayman Legends levels by himself. He playing Rocket League. He can move around in Apex, even though he's not like playing like a real match or whatever. But he has the hand-eye coordination to a good enough extent to where he can move the camera around and walk and stuff, whatever, and shoot and stuff. Uh, and he loves trying out new games and stuff. Cause y'all know me, I love me some different indie games and stuff, and so a lot of times he'll just go through my library of games I have on my PS5, and he'll be playing all different types of stuff that most kids wouldn't play. But yeah, but that has been just like I said, just something so joyous, and kind of honestly like some very just funny moments for me, because sometimes he'll be like, Dad, help, or he'll try to hand me the controller to help him, and sometimes I have my moments, but like if I'm tired, I'm like, nah, Dad, I don't want to play the game, whatever. But then I have those moments where I'm like, man, I have a 4-year old asking for help or wanting me to play the game or whatever, because like he'll get to a level it might be a little bit too hard, and he'll try for over and over, and then eventually he'll be like, okay, hey, help, or here you go. And so yeah, so it's just been just a awesome, just beautiful thing. There is a video of him that I have. I'm gonna have to post, or maybe I'll post on his birthday or sometime soon. That I think he was maybe 2, or no, I don't know. He might have been maybe 1 or 2, somewhere in there, whatever. But I had him with me at the store, and I can't remember. I think it might have been either like a FYE or basically some like older school, like store that had like old DVDs and stuff, whatever. And so they had several DVDs from Trigon, and so I was showing Vash the various covers of the different DVDs, and it was just so sweet just seeing him literally like approving and disapproving and stuff, because he would like look at a cover and then look at me like big smile, big cheesing. There was one particular cover I can't remember like which one it was, but there was like one particular cover to where he was just kind of like, no. And the funny thing is like I tested it out, because like I said, he was like, oh yeah, and I get to the one, he's like, and then I showed him like the first one again, he's like, yeah. So I'm like, okay, you are picking and choosing, what you like, what you don't like and stuff. So, but that's just like a video I super cherish. Like I said, I'm about to put that up on. I'm gonna either tweet it out, or I'm gonna for sure have to put it on my. I'm gonna have to make sure it's on my Instagram too, so it's preserved somewhere. But maybe even load it up to my YouTube. I might do that too. Like so, just as a way to have like certain stuff just like preserved in multiple places and stuff. But yeah, but the journey to fatherhood has been so crazy, because of course, I have been a father figure for many years, because like I've mentioned before, I've been an uncle since I was 4 years old, and I'm 31 now, but I've been an uncle since I was 4 years old. So of course over the years I had nieces and nephews that looked up to me and stuff, and when I met my wife originally, of course, she already has 4 kids. And so being a stepfather for many years, that's a whole different beast. I feel like compared to, when Vash was born, having a son of my own was just because having that realization, of like, no, like you have more responsibility in molding who he is, or who like the person he becomes. Because with stepkids and stuff, or just any type of like blended family situation, is sometimes there might be other factors in, as far as like, okay, you got to deal with the kids' other parent or whatever, or just other family in general from that parent or whatever. And they always gonna have something to say, as far as like, oh, I don't like the way you're raising my kid. I don't like the way you're raising my son, my daughter, whatever. everybody always got something smart to say, whatever. Whereas, with Vash, it's like there is no other sayings involved aside, like, so primarily just me and my wife. And so it's just like, okay, this is on you, Robert, to do the best you can to try to shape and mold his young mind, you know. But yeah, but the journey to fatherhood has been, like I said, it's been a adventure to say the least. These last 4 years have been trying in many ways, but also very fulfilling in others, and wouldn't change it for nothing, you know. Even though he might drive me crazy, stress me up sometimes. I know he's a. I definitely would attribute several of these silver hairs I have across my head, beard, and all this stuff, whatever, to Vash. As I'm pretty sure you've probably heard him multiple times in the background, screaming and shouting. So apologies for that, but hey, y'all already know, and Dad needs to talk. There's probably some background noise at some point, especially with Mr. Vash, and in the picture. And so kind of last point I just kind of want to end on with this section is hopefully someday, I'm gonna kind of say it like this. I hope that someday, Vash, you get a chance to hear this, to watch this, as you hear your 4-year-old self in the background. But I just want you to know that, as this is, like I said, a little time capsule, but just want you to know that this is your dad, Robert, and I love you so much, from the bottom of my heart, with all of my heart, with all of my soul. I love you so much, son, and just know that, no matter how much tough love I give you, know that it does come from a genuine place of care and wanting the best for you. Like I said, I hope, that I continue to be there for you for many days, weeks, months, years to come, to continue to see the person you grow up to be, the young man you grow up to be, hopefully someday the adult. Who knows, maybe a father yourself someday, but I hope that you do get a chance to watch this and listen to this in the future, assuming YouTube is still around, a decade, 20 years from now, whenever you might come across this, or at least, hearing the audio from it. But just as a reminder, this image behind my head of Vash the Stampede, he is the one that you are named after, the humanoid typhoon, the 60 billion double dollar man. But just because, just like Vash the Stampede, you are a whirlwind of a person in my life. While wherever you go, there is a wake of chaos left behind. But just like Vash the Stampede, you have a very kind heart. And I already see that right even now in your young age. You have a very kind and sweet heart that, I can tell that you will be a very loving and caring person. And so, yeah, I hope that, like I said, I hope that you have had many awesome birthdays up to now. And yeah, if you ever do watch this, call me, text me, come talk to me, whatever the case is, and let me know that, hey, Dad, I listened to the podcast episode from November 8th, 2021 on my birthday. And yeah, so just come talk to me. It'll be very funny to see, and at what point in time this moment takes place, or how old you will be when you might make your way through these podcast episodes, and hopefully by now you've realized that our logo is you there next to me. But like I said, once again, Vash, this is your dad, Rob. I love you so much. Me and your mom, whole family, we all love you so much. And happy birthday. Love you, son. So, thank you for everybody that's this listening, and enjoying this podcast with me. Like I said, that was kind of like the primary reason why I wanted to do this for my son, for Vash, and yeah. Um, so, kind of moving right along. I'm trying to think. I guess I'll give a brief shout out to a game I got to play a very very tiny smidgen of earlier today. It's called I think it's called Unpacking. Unpacking. Let me see. Unpacking. And like the name suggests, it's basically a game about you unpacking some stuff. And so basically, the characters you're playing as, I believe it's like a young. Actually, I know it is a young lady. And basically, you're kind of like playing through several phases of her life. And so basically, each level starts off with just like a room. It could be a bedroom, could be bathroom, kitchen, whatever, but it starts off with a room with several cardboard boxes. And so basically, you're just like clicking through, opening up the boxes, and pulling out all the different items. And basically, you're just putting them away. Okay, stuffed animals on the bed, books on the shelf, this under the counter, this on my table, yada yada yada. And so it's just kind of a pretty chill, relaxing game. Like I said, just kind of like you just trying to like learning about who this person is or who they might have been by seeing the different items that they have had over the years. And so yeah, so I'm playing it on Xbox right now because it's on Xbox Game Pass, but I believe it's also on PC as well as Nintendo Switch. So yeah, go check it out. Like I said, it's called Unpacking. But yeah, but that's it as far as like I said, like the game stuff I checked out. Trying to think how I want to do this. Okay, so very briefly, like I said, just gonna be super brief. Manga wise, reading wise, I'm gonna touch on and give a shout out to for the last time, Hunters Guild Red Hood. So unfortunately, this week's chapter 17, was the final chapter for Hunters Guild Red Hood. Now, if you did not check out this series or whatever, even though it did get canceled, I would still say it is still something worth taking a look at least, like I said, just reading through, because hey, it's only 17 chapters, so it's gonna be a pretty quick read. But I so much enjoyed the world that they were building, the characters that were in play, and all that stuff. It's just very sad that the series, just like many series that had potential, just kind of got cut down pretty early, unfortunately. But that's all we kind of just want to say on that or whatever. But I feel like the author ended it off in a fitting way, appropriate with how the world and the story is structured, and that's kind of all I'll kind of mention on that. Real quick, because I have to freaking at least touch on these two just super quick. One Piece. I believe this was, what was it? I think this one was, 1031, if I remember correctly. Yes, One Piece manga chapter 1031. Like I said, just brief thoughts on all this stuff. So very firstly, very beautiful color spread. So this chapter's color spread, if you hadn't seen it already, I'll just give a brief description of it. Basically, it is all of the first commanders of all of the various captains or emperors, or basically just like strongest crews in the series. So you have Rayleigh from the Roger Pirates. You have Marco the Phoenix from Whitebeard Pirates. You have Katakuri from the Big Mom Pirates. You have um, Ben Beckman from Shanks. So real quick, we have a briefer interruption during this manga recap. We have the birthday boy. Happy birthday, Vash. Happy. No. Stop. Happy birthday.
Doctor. Say, I am 4. Say cheese.
So the birthday boy, and it is literally it just struck past midnight here, so he popped in here right on time to celebrate his birthday and all his wildness. No, please don't hit my microphone. Stop. Go get ready for bed, okay, birthday boy?
Say bye-bye.
Tell them bye-bye. Say bye. Say bye. Bye. Oops. Excuse me. Okay. Night. Okay. So birthday boy popped in. So Rayleigh, Ben Beckman, Katakuri, Marco, Shiryu of the Rain from Blackbeard's crew, Sabo is there from the Revolutionaries, Beppo from the Law's Heart Pirates, Killer from Kid's crew, and then of course our boy Zoro from representing the Straw Hats. But it was a very cool, very dope color spread, to say the least. But this chapter, I don't even know, man. It was just like a collection of chaos. It's the best way I can describe this chapter, because we started off with freaking the aftermath of Kid and Law doing a combo attack with their awakened abilities on Big Mom. Big Mom, of course, still gets up. She snatches some souls from several people in the area and creates more homies, as well as she sacrifices a year of her own lifespan to power herself up, which is crazy. But yeah, and then she begins a rampage. What else? We have a brief moment where we see Yamato run into Apu and Drake as they're trying to figure out all that mess. We have CP0 making their move, chasing after Brooke and Robin as they're trying to capture Robin. And then the big part of this chapter was the Sanji stuff. Because we had a moment where it looks like Sanji might have actually hit a woman for the first time. Because of whatever's going on in his body due to the Germa equipment. But we have a moment where basically we see Sanji destroying his raid suit gear canister thing. And yeah, so that happened. And he ends up calling Zoro and telling Zoro, like, hey, once we get done taking care of King and Queen, if I am out of control or on a rampage, I want you to be the one to kill me. That's crazy. I don't see anybody dying right now, but at the same time, that would be freaking wild. But I doubt that's gonna happen, especially because he's the freaking cook of the group, man. We can't continue to end it to the rest of the series without the cook. But we also, what is this? It was like another question that Sanji asked. Yeah, he was like, which would Luffy prefer? The regular flesh and blood me who turns into a helpless wreck whenever I face a woman, or a cruel, cold, emotionless warrior of science who can crush monsters, even monsters like Queen, if given the order. You know, which side would be more beneficial to the King of Pirates? And so yeah, so that's basically kind of a super brief roundup of like how that chapter freaking went, which was like I said, freaking wild. Next up, just kind of being super brief with these, but My Hero Academia, manga chapter 332. Things ain't looking good for Star right now. Because pretty much, we get a little bit more flashback to her and her training and stuff, whatever. But the big thing with this chapter was when she grabbed all those freaking missiles that came from the U.S. and she sent them down the same pathway as the laser that she was spearing down on him last chapter or whatever. But like freaking last minute, Shigaraki was able to activate his decay and bury himself underground to escape the big impact of those missiles, and that he launched out and freaking got his hands on Star's face, and that's how the chapter ended. So I am fearful, as I've talked about before, that I'm still kind of the mind that Shigaraki would not slash all for one, that they would not succeed in getting Star's quirk, but I think just because I feel like that would be like too OP, because Shigaraki's already a problem. Now if he has a freaking quirk where he can just like give commands like, hey, I command Deku to stop breathing or stuff like that, but what I'm thinking is going to happen more than likely is I think that she is going to impose a rule, if not two, on herself last minute. And I think some of this I might have talked about before, but I think she might either try to do one where it's like, she can't have her quirk stolen or something of that nature. But I was also kind of thinking of, I wonder if would she also maybe do something like be like can I have her quirk stolen and or cannot be decayed or something like that, but I have a feeling that she is going to have a creative way to stop Shigaraki from stealing her quirk, but it will probably come at the cost of either her losing her quirk or her dying in a self-sacrifice type of situation. Which, like I said, I do not want to happen, because I freaking want her to at least meet and talk with at least Deku and All Might, if nobody else. I at least want that meeting to happen, because it would suck. Like, man, she didn't even freaking make it into the freaking country, and she's already getting killed off. But so that's kind of like my general thoughts on that chapter. So yeah, I'll leave it at that. So next thing I kind of want to touch on, so anime and stuff, whatever. So I'm gonna do a quick rapid fire before I get into like specific stuff. So pretty much just off top, like I said, all this I'm about to say right now is spoiler free. I'm just giving just general thoughts, whatever. 86, good. Yeah, that long range missile is all I'm gonna say. Wild, but good. Jobless reincarnation, super good episode as well. Blue Period continues to be the comfort anime for me Saturday mornings while I have my breakfast, my bowl of cereal or whatever I have for breakfast Saturday mornings. Blue Period continues to be a great series, a great relaxing series to experience. Like I said, just in the morning or just whenever I get up and get around to start watching stuff. Great. And it was a very awesome feeling yesterday when I was at the store picking up this manga, the manga that I showed earlier. Somebody in line ahead of me, he had a copy of Blue Period Volume 1. So I thought that was like super dope to see. It's like, okay, it's growing more and more, getting more out there. So very awesome. Like I said, seeing it grow. Komi can communicate. Also a very good chill episode. Trying to think. So now we're gonna get into some specifics. So freaking man, what should I start with? Let's do ranking of kings. And I'm not even going to go into this super long, whatever, because, hey, if y'all want to hear, like, super long, in-depth thoughts on this, whatever, go check out my YouTube video on my channel, because I've been doing YouTube videos for this series every week, the day or a day after the day that the episodes come out. So if you're interested in super long, in-depth thoughts, whatever, check that out. But I just want to say, man, Boji, and screw Domas. So, Boji, he's starting off his little adventure. Such cheerful music, man. Such cheerful music. But he's starting his little adventure. Freaking Boji just like steadily getting distracted, falling asleep in the middle of town, chasing butterflies, almost falling into freaking spike trap pit things, all this crazy stuff. And we got so much freaking good world building and stuff as well, because like we got to like meet more characters. Like I want to know like what the heck is up with that maybe king guy that was like living underground and in that little spiked pit cave thing. What the hell was that damn that freaking crazy cloud thing that like sucked up the soul of the dead boar and then spit out dozens of forest animals out the other end? I don't know. This show is super weird, but I'm here for it. And then we also get that freaking at the end, that town with what they literally call the gates of hell. This giant hole in the ground, like every few minutes, shoots up fire. But I had learned or heard something very interesting from somebody that commented on my video over the weekend. They gave me something to think about. So there was a moment where Boji, Domas, and the other guy are sitting around the campfire. They're about to eat dinner or whatever, or eat. So Boji's about to eat some food, and then two daggers come out of nowhere and knock the food. Or as the daggers are coming, Domas pushes Boji out the way, and the daggers end up hitting the meat or whatever. And so basically, when they pick it up, Boji's about to go try to eat it again. A little fox comes, grabs the meat, feeds it for her and her cubs. Come to find out a little bit later on, they all died because what I was thinking or was speculated was that the meat was, or that the daggers was poisoned, and that's what got into the meat. But this person, shout out to you. Sorry, I don't have your name put it right now, whatever. But they pointed out that more than likely the meat was poisoned, and the daggers, which we know was probably shot by Bebin, was done to save Boji from eating the poisoned meat. And I was like, that makes total sense. It makes super freaking total sense. And especially because of what happens at the end of the freaking episode, where Domas and poor Boji, so trusting, whatever, he's like, hey, come get a closer look at this pit of hell, and freaking just pushes. Domas pulls a Rachel moment and just pushes Boji right off the edge into the freaking pit. And like a minute later, whatever, fire. So I am like super excited and stressing to see this next episode, to learn like, okay, like what the heck is going on? What is up with our boy Boji? All that stuff. But another great episode of Ranking of Kings. Next up, Sakugan. So this episode, we basically, as their quote unquote punch, whatever, basically, Mimipu and Gagumber have to go and help. Basically, they end up getting tasked with fixing this wind machine, because there's a area of the forest that they're in where a lot of the nature and stuff is dying, and that's because the airflow or the wind that normally goes through that area, whatever, is not getting there. And kind of find out that like the big machinery, whatever, that makes all that stuff works is damaged. And so we get into this area where it's like dripping like acid stuff out the pipes and all that stuff. And so it was just overall, like I said, just keeping it super simple, but it was just like an overall super cool episode. Like I said, just seeing them kind of just getting to explore and Mimi Pooh learning that her little jewel stone or whatever actually reflected the machinery and how like the different pathways and stuff was opening whatever on the map. So that was like pretty cool, like for her to learn that there was that connection and stuff as well. But yeah, like I said, just still continue to enjoy Sakugan. So very briefly, I want to touch on this series. So this is a series that I have been chipping away at over the last week or so, couple weeks, whatever. I still haven't watched the movie for this, but I did watch the anime series for Violet Evergarden. Now, Violet Evergarden is a series that I've heard people rant and rave about for years, since it aired a couple years back or a few years ago. So, I don't know why I just got the random urge to like just finally just watch it or whatever. But here I am. And so, and like I said, I still want to like still go and watch the movie and stuff. And I think there's like a bonus episode or something. But for those who do not know, whatever, so Violet Evergarden basically follows this young lady named Violet Evergarden, who basically was a child soldier back during the war. And so the series kind of deals with, kind of like us learning more about her time as a soldier in the army, and her kind of like trying to adjust and adapt to living a normal life, and just doing normal things. And yeah, it is just it was super awesome, super good, very beautiful show, very good music, very fluid animation and stuff as well. But it was like very nice going through, and like I said, just slowly seeing Violet start to learn and understand and grasp what emotions are, and how they are used and how they are expressed, because with her becoming a doll, and it's interesting like how she was like being super literal with her letters at the beginning to at the end. And man, like some of these episodes I really hit, and it's kind of funny in a way, because I just now thought about this with me doing that recording I just did for Vash on here. That one episode with the mother, that basically she had a terminal illness and she knew that her time was limited. So she had Violet come out for a full week, and every day they just typed up letters or whatever. And come to find out, she was typing up birthday letters to her daughter enough to last, I think, for the next 50 years. And that was wild. And I really appreciated them kind of like giving us like a snippet into the future of the daughter going through the different phases of her life. Like, oh, now you're this age. Oh, hey, now you're a teenager. Oh, hey, now you're a young adult. Oh, you got your first job maybe. Oh, hey, you got married. Just seeing all that stuff was just super heartwarming, and a very thoughtful thing for her to do, to map out like, hey, here's a letter for every birthday for the next 50 years. Y'all make sure that these get delivered on her birthday every year. And so I just like to just stuff like that just like really hit close to home. Like I said, especially like right now with like me just giving my own son a sort of time capsule for his birthday and stuff. But yeah, but Violet Evergarden, super good stuff. Like I said, I don't need to drag it out too much longer than that. But yeah, So, I'm trying to think. Talked about the manga and stuff or chapters I read for the week, and the main anime stuff that I watched this week. I'm trying to think. I think that's it. So, I'm gonna kind of transition a little bit now to talking about Eternals, but I'm gonna say once again this is gonna be just very light surface level because honestly I am not super familiar with with these beings and stuff, whatever. But like I said, I just kind of just want to just give just general thoughts on it. So general spoilers for Marvel's Eternals. Um, so Eternals. Now, much like my situation with watching Guardians of the Galaxy those years back, of like, okay, I have no clue who any of these characters are, never heard of them, all that stuff, because growing up, I was never really too big of a comic book reader. Now, of course, I knew about X-Men a lot because I watched uh, between the live action X-Men movies back in the day, the X-Men animated cartoon series, freaking love. Oh yeah, X-Men. Of course, Spider-Man. I think Spider-Man was like the only actual comic book that I read, and it was like one particular issue. I kind of want to go back and see if I can find that one or whatever. But the main thing I remember about it was that if I remember correctly, I said this was like 20 plus years ago, but I believe Peter and MJ just had a baby, and so yeah. Which in hindsight, cause I want to say I was, yeah, I feel like I was younger than 10 when I got that. So kind of reading that in hindsight, kind of funny. But I know my mom got her like, hey, Spider Man, here you go. But like I said, just that general stuff, whatever. Of course, like I said, everybody knows Hulk and stuff like that. But like I said, like Guardians of the Galaxy, I have no clue who these people are, and now even less so with Eternals. Because like I said, before they announced this movie a couple years back, whatever, I never even heard of these people. But what I will say though, like I said, is that I really enjoyed the movie. Uh, you know, not necessarily my favorite, but and I feel like this is why I have kind of more or less like over the years put less emphasis and stake on quote unquote professional reviewers or review sites like Rotten Tomatoes and stuff like that or whatever, because sometimes I just want to go watch something, play it, read it, whatever, to judge for myself. Now, what might happen though is that something gets put on my radar. Like example, last month there was a game I played called The Artful Escape. That game was not on my radar at all, but listen to one of my podcasts or whatever, they doing kind of like a review / impressions of it or whatever, and somebody was ranting and raving about it, so I was like, okay, let me put this on my radar, let me go check it out. And I freaking love that game. One of my favorite experiences this year. And so yeah, so like I said, it kind of happened. Same thing with this is, I watched, like I said, I just kind of just went into the movie and watched it and enjoyed it. I enjoy this cast of characters. Freaking, man, freaking Angelina Jolie. She has some type of like fountain of youth, immortality, something. Because wow, she looked freaking stunning this movie. And it was very cool to see her in the role that she was in. It was very, very fitting of her being that character named Athena. Of course, like me being in IT, I enjoyed the gadget guy. What was his name? Fastos. played by Brian Tyree Henry from who's also in Atlanta, the TV show Atlanta. 'Cause that's where I first learned of his stuff, whatever, as a Paperboy. But yeah, Fast does him with his little gadgets and stuff. I loved it. I feel like all of the Eternals I pretty much like enjoyed in some aspect or whatever. Gilgamesh, he was super dope. I love the sound design. Like anytime he like laid the smack down on somebody, it was like freaking like the Big Show slapping somebody's chest, just like wham. I just loved it. Like I said, just like his power, just like brawling, smacking people down, all that stuff. Makari with her speed, and I loved them incorporating. Let me see, cause I don't know. I don't think she's not actually deaf. I don't think. No, cause she was on Walking Dead, so I don't think she is. But anywho, she was really cool and with that character as well. Sprite, the little illusions, little chick, Kango, him and his buddy Karan. Them two had me cracking up, yo. Like when they first reintroduced them after they trying to go and reunite the team, whatever. And he's doing like the little like dance number and stuff in the show. And I love freaking Karan, just like he's just like having fun, just like recording and trying to document all these little events and stuff. But yeah, but all of them were so cool. Freaking Druid with his ability to basically control people's minds. Like I said, I already talked about Angelina Jolie's character Thana being like the strongest warrior. Icarus, man, his character. I should have known something was going on with him, but I did not expect, not to say I wasn't surprised or like, okay, of course that makes sense that he would be the one that would turn on everybody, but it was still pretty cool, just moment, just seeing them, kind of come together to try to fight him at the end, and freaking Cersei with her ability, that her power was like super dope as well. Just kind of being able to like change the shape and form of objects that she's touching. And so yeah, it is just like really dope just seeing and honestly like a lot of this movie was just like me just kind of just going on along for the ride, because this movie they're talking about like big literal galaxy brain type of stuff of like these like humongous beings shaping galaxies and universes and stuff like that, and these Eternals supposedly being sent down to stop these deviants, only to find out the reveal of like, actually no, the deviants was just something that I messed up previously in my last experiment, so I created y'all to take care of them and yada yada yada. So that was just super crazy and super wild. But yeah, and honestly, I am just like super curious to see like the aftermath of all of this stuff. I look forward to seeing when the freaking Eternal that started being born out the planet is now like frozen. Or I think I'm trying to think. I think they said that she actually killed it, maybe. But anywho, this half emerged Eternal just sticking out the planet, like his fingers and like part of his head sticking out the freaking side of the surface of the planet. That's gonna be wild to see like from space, as well as I'm curious like in other movies and Marvel movies and stuff, whatever, how that's gonna handle like at one point is that gonna get brought up in a news story, or somebody's gonna be like flying across the planet and like, oh look, that's the thing that the Eternals took care of or whatever. Um, the post credit scenes. So getting introduced to Thanos' brother, uh, which once again, not too familiar with these characters and stuff, but that's still just something cool and interesting that he got introduced there at the end of at the end of the movie. Seeing him come into play, and then the post credit scene, seeing what is this character's name? I don't want to just say Jon Snow, but Kit Harington. Apparently, I guess he's some character called the Black Knight. Which once again, don't know nothing about Thanos' brother. Don't know nothing about this Black Knight character, but as always, interested in learning more about this stuff. The Curse of the Ebony Blade. So, the Ebony Blade versus Zoro with Emma in One Piece. but yeah, so that's apparently who he is. I thought I saw somebody's. I don't know whose voice that was like talking to him at the end. I heard somebody say that that they think that voice at the end might be Mahershala Ali as Blade. Don't know. That'd be cool if it is, but we shall see. But like I said, overall, enjoy the movie. Like I said, it is definitely a thing of go judge things for yourself. Go check out things and make that judgment call yourself. Like I said, it is fine. If you want to still, these kind of like get a general feel or a general kind of like idea of like, okay, what is kind of like the general vibe people are feeling about this movie. And so that is fine, because hey, like I said, I still might at least like in passing, okay, what do people think about this movie, this anime, this manga, this video game, whatever. But sometimes it's like, at most, it might be a thing of like, okay, you know what, I feel like I'm kind of taking more into account like with video games, to where it's like, okay, I'm hearing mixed things on this game or whatever. Maybe I'll wait on it unless I just have money to splurge. I'll just wait on it, and pick it up a little bit later on down the line. But I feel like something like a manga or anime or a movie, those are something that's like easier to consume, to where it's like, you know what, screw it. I can spare, at least me personally, I can spare a couple hours to go check out this movie and make that judgment call for myself. Same thing, like I said, with manga. Hey, I can just pull up the chapter, read a few chapters or whatever, or pull up the series, read a few chapters or whatever, make that call myself. Like I said, same thing with anime. I'll watch an episode or two or whatever. If I'm feeling it, cool. If not, I'll just pause and come back to it later. But yeah, but that's pretty much, I think, gonna do it with my thoughts on Eternals. Like I said, hey, good. Like I said, I feel like way better than a lot of people are kind of giving it credit for. But hey, who am I but a dad talking? But yeah, let's go ahead and wrap things up. So, as always, thank you for listening to Dad Needs to Talk. Oh man, and I can truly talk, because once again, I was like, man, it's gonna be a short episode. I'm not gonna go into detail on a lot of stuff, whatever. And here we are, still clocked in about an hour and a half. But guess it's just a natural skill. But yeah, as always, like I said up top, make sure you are subscribed to the podcast on whatever podcast service you choose. Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon, whatever. Also, make sure you go to the Dad Needs to Talk YouTube channel. Subscribe there so you can check out my videos, my manga reviews, all that fun stuff. And yeah, hit me up on socials. Hit me up at dadneedstotalk.com. Hit me up on Twitter at Dad Needs to Talk, on Instagram at Dad Needs to Talk Podcast. And yeah, let me know what y'all think of Eternals, of Violet Evergarden, of any of the manga anime I talked about this week. Come talk to me. Give me a shout out. Hit me up, because I love talking with y'all. I appreciate those of y'all that have reached out. Shout out to GB from Worst Generation Podcast. I appreciate you, man, for taking time to not only listen to the podcast, but to reach out and continue the conversation. So much love to you, and much love to everybody out there that does that. It is greatly appreciated. But like I said, just a reminder, next week I'm going to be taking off, so no podcast next week. But like I said, be on the lookout. I might still drop something that week, and the following week, be on the lookout, because I got something super awesome coming for y'all. So I hope y'all are excited. But that's going to do it. It's late, and we got to go celebrate Vash's birthday. So much love to y'all. As always, take care of yourselves, treat yourselves, buy that manga and read it. Check out that anime or that movie you've been wanting to see. Play that video game that's been sitting on your shelf for a while. And as always, live your life. And I'll catch y'all in the next one. Be safe. Peace.